turn on my stream because I can always stream it. So if you have problem. So let's start with a simple one. Let's start with a 2 over 6x squared y minus 4 2x squared y squared. If I just add those two things up. Subtracting. Well, subtracting and adding is same. Okay. How do I add and subtract here? Well, if you're adding and subtract, you look for common denominator. Now the problem is 6x squared y and 2x squared y squared. That's hard to figure out what's common denominator. But don't look at it as just the whole thing. Look at a number first, okay? Look at a number. So we're going to decide what's these common denominator here. What's a 6 and 2? What's the least common denominator? I hear different answers. I'm gonna ask again. What's common denominator between 6 and 2? I'm gonna ask again. What's common denominator between 6 and 2? I still. Okay, how about this? You guys convince each other why is the one number is correct, why is the other number is wrong. All right, so finally, what is the common denominator between 6 and 2? 6. Why do I still hear 2? Who says 2? Oh, okay. So, but do you understand why it's not 2? It's not 2. It's 6. That's okay. Because you didn't have partner to help you. So 6. So if you want to add 1/6 plus 1/2, the common denominator is, this means a number can be divisible by both. Okay, so 6 can divide it by 6, 6 can divide it by 2, and that's still going to be an integer. So yes, you need to make it 6. So you need to multiply by 3 over 3. So the common denominator, as far as number goes, that's going to be 6. Now, let's look at the x squared. What is the common denominator between x squared and x squared? X squared, that was easy. Okay. Now, what's common denominator between y and y squared? Y squared, good. So 6x squared y squared. So that means I'm missing something on the left. What do I miss? So multiply by y. This what? Huh? 3 over 3. Okay, then you're good. So this one's going to be 6x squared y squared. This is 2y. This is 6x squared y squared, 12. And now you can say that's 2y minus 12 over 6x squared y squared. Now, of course, you can split. If you split, it will go back to here. But right now, I want you to combine two fractions, so I don't want you to split. This is the perfect answer that you add and subtract, and that's what you result with. Maybe you can take out 2 if you want to. So let's see. If you can take out 2, that's y minus 6. And 6x squared y squared. This 2 and 3 can simplify. Yep, that's something you can do. But other than that, there's nothing else. Got it? Okay, so 8 over, I'm going to give you some difficult ones. So that is going to be 3x squared y to the 4th minus 9 over 5x y to the 2. So I want you to subtract those 2. This is 3. Very ugly 3. gonna write 3 here. Not much better, but whatever. Oh, what's common denominator between 3 and 5? 15. Thank you. You got me, Ori. Okay, I need a LCD first. It's gonna be 15 first. What's common denominator x squared and x? I always pick the higher one. Y is always pick what? 4th. So that means I'm missing something on this side. What do I miss? 5 over 5, and I'm missing something on this side is what?
3x.
Y squared. Okay, 3x squared. 3x y squared?
Yeah.
Okay. So then of course 40 over 15 x squared y to the 4th. Now this one is gonna be minus 15 xy squared over 27 xy to the 2nd, right? X 15 x squared. Okay, y to the 4. Okay, so is that okay? Y to the 4. You're right. So it's equal to 15 x squared y to the 4. 40 minus 27 x y squared, and that's the final answer. Okay, so now you know how to multiply and adding and multiply. Now let's do something. Huh? What? Oh, okay, that's okay. So so now, do you have a common denominator here? Oh, okay, so you got to figure out what the common denominator between those two. Now this one actually, for some weird reason, people feel like this one's harder to find common denominator because the things looks a little bit different. So let me ask people. Anybody know what's common denominator? Annika? Yep, that's perfect because think about it. If you have 2 and 3, you have 6, right? Then you know it's one of them. One of them's 2, one's 3. Then you have common denominator 6. Pretty much, it's 2 times 3. So here it's gonna be x minus 2 times x minus 3. So you're gonna multiply this side by x minus 3 and x minus 3. This is no different than elementary school, really. Now the problem is, where do people make most mistake? I'm going to tell you where people make most mistake, because people doesn't know how to distribute negative signs. And this is where people make mistake. X minus 3, x plus x minus 2. This one's x minus 3 is perfect, but you have to distribute this. And also people have tendency want to cancel something. That they say x minus 2 cancel. Please do not cancel. Nothing should be canceled there. You just have to distribute this, and you have to distribute the negative sign. And this is where the mistake make is actually the first part here. So it'll be x minus 3 minus 6x plus 12. over x minus 3, x minus 2. And then that's going to give you negative 5x, hopefully. And what? Plus 9? And that's just simple addition and subtractions. Is that too fast? So the problem is this where make mistake is they don't forgot to distribute negative. They have write down negative 6x, but they did not write down positive 12. So that's the usually the main mistake people make. And if you correct that mistake, usually fine. But also another people have tendency to cancel the x minus 2 on the second step. You cannot cancel unless they are factor, because that's not a factor. X minus 2 is not a factor on the top. X minus 2 is factor on the bottom, but it's not factor on the top. Therefore, nothing can cancel there. You just distribute it as much as you can. Okay, so that is going to be x over x minus 1 here, minus 2x plus 5 here. So let's say if you guys can subtract that. And tomorrow, on Monday, we're going to talk about what happened if the bottom's a little bit harder. Because we're running out of time. This, you all learned this in Algebra 2, but I'm just going to go through as fast as I can. We'll cover pre-calc just by probably another 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 3 to 4 weeks to cover all the basic information. Then we're going to go back to the actual pre-calc content. Not even actual pre-calc content, but it's Algebra 2 still. This is what I got. You can. But there's nothing can simplify, so x plus 2, x plus 1. So soon. What? Because that negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. Get it?
We would just keep it like this, and then we multiply the top and bottom by x minus 2.
Yeah, but that's a parenthesis. X minus 2 is parenthesis.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a parenthesis here, you have to distribute that parenthesis.
But there is a parenthesis, so I distributed that would be 6x minus 12.
No, you have to distribute the negative 6 because this is negative 6.
So I have to move it on top first?
Yeah.
Okay.
because you're subtracting.
Just making sure. Thank you.
The one, that question, it got negative 5x plus 9. Wouldn't you have to distribute out the negative? Or does it not matter?
Doesn't matter if that's the case because it's a factor form, but you can distribute a negative. It's not changing anything, and that's okay.
Every Wednesday for like
Bye, have a
bringing
good
stuff
weekend.
in the same class would be better.
I don't convince people one way or another, but the decision is this: if you come here, then you have to commit. Like if you don't commit, I will fail you, and that's bad because they hurt your GPA, right? So, it depends. What you want to major in, right? That's a
Medicine.
huh?
Medicine.
Which kind of medicine? Are you nursing or you medical or
Like
doc?
medical research.
Medical research? I don't know like what is it, but if you willing to work, it's not impossible. I always tell people. But then you cannot come to me and say it's later on you're doing bad. I cannot do anything about it. So those are things that you guys have to decide. You guys have to measure what's the best way. You can understand the stuff here right now, but the problem is that what I see on the test is a little bit far apart. But it doesn't mean you don't understand that. You can understand it if maybe you are here for whole weeks, right? So if you want to stay, then I will go back to make sure I understand all the things prior on all the video I make. And but if you decide to leave, just have to make decisions soon. So I always told students like this: if you leave or staying, you just don't like you going out the door, right? You don't want to either you inside the door or outside the door, and you commit to it, but don't stay in between the door. That's where you get hit. And so that's the debating situation. So it's really up to you. I don't.
I'm gonna think about it.
You think about it. Yeah. I like I said, I'm willing to help students even from the basics. Just one day tutoring a week might not be enough. Might need 2 or 3 days, especially for your situation and her situation as well. So it's sent for both of you guys. And but I know you're a nice kid, and you know I'm trying to help out kid. Otherwise, I won't go back to the basics. If I go back to basics, that means I want to help you guys to become more successful in the future. But that's all up to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Which question is that?
It was the last question. Debbie.
Last question, sure. Okay, which one? What's up, man? This one? Okay. The common denominator is gonna be this term, oops, gonna be this term times this term. Because just think about it, what's common denominator between 2 and 3? What's common denominator between 2 and 3? No. Six, there we go. 6 can be divisible by 2 and 3 at the same time without getting fraction. So which thing can divide it by x minus 1, x plus 5, and still gonna be an integer? Here is 6, right? 6 is equal to 2 times 3, right? So it's this term times this term. So therefore, least common denominator between those two terms is this 2. So that means on the left side, I need an x plus 5 and x plus 5. On the right side, I need an x minus 1 over x minus 1. Because you times by 1, you're not changing the fraction. And this is 1. This is 1. You're not changing the fraction, it's changing the way it looks. Now, when I times by x plus 5, this x is going to distribute to x and 5. So that's going to be x squared minus 5x. Now this whole thing here is going to distribute -2 into the x and -2 into the 1. So therefore, it's going to give you -2x and -2x and +2. Now I just combine the like term on the top to get to here. And come after school and I'll have somebody help you too. You gotta come as often as you need. I told your mom already. Student athlete, student come first, athlete comes second. So if you can come today because I don't. Do you ever watch Ninjago? Do you ever watch Ninjago when you grow up? No. Okay. Now you need a pass to go to the next class. Even if you come at lunch, I might have somebody help you too. Which lunch you have? I should have people to help you. You need to come and help as many times as possible. The problem is there's a lot of it. And I tried to tell your mom, last year that's an easy A. It was. So this is not gonna be easy A. This is gonna be a hard D, hard C. It's gonna have to put. Now, like I said, you can always choose. I told her too. You can choose to leave this class, take an easier class, and yeah. But that's up to you. I don't. But I'm willing to help you out.